Hey everyone, we're going to continue with the Shaman Box Oracle deck review and chapter reading. We're going to continue with Tools of the Shaman from part 4, and hopefully we'll be able to get into the next chapter as well. I'm going to aim for about 15 minutes on this as well, so I probably have just that room on my phone. Alright, calling to the spirits. The spirits are everywhere. The shamans stand with them within this great totality of sacred life, and the spirits talk to them. Shamans use many ways of connecting with the spirits. Shamans can pray for aid from specific spirit helpers, such as the sacred ancestors to whom they offer a gift of tobacco or food. They can also sing ancient spirit calling songs or use the drum, rattle, or other instrument to entice the spirits to appear. They can offer sweet-smelling smoke to the winds or tie flags to trees or boulders. They can perform spirit-calling ceremonies, such as the shamanic seance used by the Lakota Yuwipi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They can go without food or water and sleep for prolonged periods in an isolated place to induce vision and spiritual communication. They can dance for days on end until the boundary of this world and the spirit world blurs. They can take psychoactive plants and tightly controlled ceremonies to shift their perception into the spirit world. Talking to the spirits. Shamans pray a lot. They say, "Thank you, grandfather," when something good happens. They talk to the ancestors. They talk to the animal spirits and to all of the other spirits with which they work. This is prayer, but a far more direct experience than the hands together and eyes closed that many of us learned in school. Talk to the spirits each day. There is no need to make a special time for it unless you find it helpful. Talk to the spirits in your own way. If you do not know what to say, tell them so. Introduce yourself by saying your name and telling them that you are happy to be alive. There are always things to give thanks for: your sight, your hearing, or your sense of touch, the food you ate yesterday, or the air you breathe today. Find your own voice, however hesitant, and use it as well as you can. Open your mouth and speak out loud. For example, anytime it rains, I always thank Sister Rain. Anytime the wind blows, Brother Wind, thank you. That's another example. Every time. Especially if I'm too lazy to water all the plants. If you hurt, then say so. Tell the spirits what hurts, and thank the spirits for the things that do not hurt. If you feel brave, thank the spirits for the hurt that is helping you to learn and letting you know that you are alive. And there's a little tutorial on a way to pray, just one of many. Intent, objects, and magic. In many traditions, shamans place all of their ceremonial objects on an altar in front of them or behind them when they perform a ceremony. By creating a sacred space, the shamans announce to the spirits and to the world around them that they are engaged in a sacred activity. They proclaim it that they are stepping out of the world of the everyday into the bigger picture. A shaman may wish to heal and protect a sick person who is far from the love and support of those who requested a ceremony. In the absence of the patient, a doll representing the person can be placed on a special altar. To generate even more intent, the doll can be dressed in the sick person's clothes or have some of the person's hair or belongings tied to it. The intention is that the doll becomes the patient, so that healing carried out on the doll is carried out on the person who needs it. This is made clear to the spirits also, so that they understand the purpose of the ceremony. If the patient is under some kind of threat, the doll may be laid on a bed of protective herbs in the center of the altar, or be wrapped in a cloth of red, the protective color. Charms that repel danger or material with safeguarding properties such as salt may encircle it. Mirrors may be placed around it, facing outward to reflect away any harmful intent. In this way, positive intent combines with a magical language to speak to the spirits in clear and powerful terms. The intent, although attached to an altar, is the same energy that attaches to any magical object, such as a charm. In fact, a charm can be seen as a tiny portable altar. Whether it be a St. Christopher medal or a rabbit's foot, it carries a clear intent and a message to the spirit. When an object has spiritual intent, it helps the worlds of spirits and matter to connect with one another. In shamanic cultures, such items often carry an elaborate burden of meaning. Made from sacred materials rich in spiritual language and significance, they can become entire stories of intent rather than simple signs to spirits. They can be charms for hunting, war charms, fertility charms, charms to safeguard travelers, personal protection charms, charms to help in healing or divination, or charms to connect people with their animal spirit helpers. Such charms are known as bundles because they consist of items bundled together in cloth or leather. Another name for a bundle is a medicine bag because they contain items of medicine or spirit within a small bag. A bundle holds intent. For example, a shaman's personal medicine bag contains items that reflect its owner and therefore remind the shaman who he or she truly is. That reminder amplifies and strengthens the shaman's intent. The bag may contain parts of the shaman, such as hair or nail clippings, to make the bundle even more part of him or her. It may hold parts of animals that are sacred to the shaman, such as fur, feathers, or claws. There may be reminders of spirit powers with which the shaman works, such as the 4 colors that the shaman associates with the sacred 4 directions, or a small medicine wheel. If the bag's owner is a hunter, it may contain miniature weapons or tiny fetishes that represent the prey. An artist may store objects that represent his or her art. The bag contains substances seen as protective and possibly reminders of the shaman's family and people to locate its owner within his or her society. The sweet gifts of the plant people. Green, the color of plants, is loved by humans throughout the world. Plants grow almost everywhere, hot or cold, wet or dry. Somehow a plant will find a place to survive and probably thrive. Plants are the first sacred gift givers. They give to animals so that animals can eat them. The animals are often hunted in turn by humans, but without the plants there would be no hunt. Plants also give their food directly to humans, and they give us medicine, color, scent, fiber to make rope and cloth, and wood for tools and construction. Shamans use plants for many purposes, but perhaps the most immediate is to make smudge smoke. This smoke, rising from ornate metal containers, pottery bowls, or simple seashells, goes out to the spirit, touching the sacred with its beautiful scent. Cleansing herbs are burned to dispel unwanted spirits and residual energy. Ceremonial places, objects, and participants, gifts, and ritual food are all washed in the smoke. It prepares the place and puts everyone into a sacred frame of mind and heart for the sacred activity. Other herbs act as sweet offerings to call to the spirits. They are generally herbs with a sweeter smell than the tangy scents of cleansing herbs. The list of aromatic burning herbs is almost endless. Where one herb reaches the limit of its growing area, perhaps due to climate conditions, another equally fragrant herb will thrive and be used for smudge smoke. These are some of the most widely used cleansing and sweet herbs. As far as cleansing, sage, rosemary, cedar, juniper, wormwood, and lavender. Sweet, tobacco, woodruff, frankincense, copal, sweetgrass, and mugwort. All right, we're going to continue with the next chapter, which is called, Walking Your Own Path. And we'll see how much of it we can get through. Walking your own path. Although it is impossible to become a shaman by reading a book, the ways of understanding described here can give you much beauty and wisdom as you travel on the earth walk of your life. It is natural to imitate at first. You'll probably find yourself drawn to a particular culture, whether Native American, Siberian, Aboriginal, or another. The chances are that you do not belong to that culture, even if your biological roots do, but it can teach you. You cannot be a Tibetan or Siberian or Lakota. You can only be a person who is learning to be a true human being. As you grow in these ways, the spirits talk to you, and what you do becomes not imitation, but an expression of your deep personal relationship with the sacred. Smudging. Smudging yourself and your home every day helps you to build your intent to follow a shamanic way. Smudging herbs are easy to obtain. You can buy smudge sticks, but it is rewarding to collect your own herbs. It is essential to be respectful in your collection and use of smudging herbs. The quest for the sacred can become a serious threat to the environment. Sweetgrass, for example, is a reed-like plant that grows very slowly. Over the past few years, it has been over-harvested in some areas of the United States, causing the loss of its natural beds. You can smudge the rooms of your home and your treasured objects on a daily basis. You can also smudge your loved ones and yourself. When you perform a healing ritual or a ceremony, it is also good to smudge first. Within a short time, you will find yourself experience a great sense of the sacred from this act, as the old waves weave their simple magic upon you. Then there's instructions on how to smudge, although it's pretty simple. Healing the past. You are here now, which means that you survived the past. As we fall from the mountain, we must use the opportunity to admire the view, so the things that obscure our vision must be cleared away. The first enemy in the line of sight is fear. Fear is the foe that stops people from moving from the past to the present. We fear because of what our experiences led us to believe about the world. We project that belief into the future, convinced that the same will happen again. We do not live in the real now. We shadow box the imagined future. This belief about the world is like a call that we send out. We call what we fear to come and scare us, and by doing so we make the world a more predictable and therefore seemingly safer place, even if our fears also make it unpleasant. Ceremony is one of the best methods of removing fears and hurts. It is where the spirits can join with psychotherapy to form a powerful healing union. And then we have a whole couple pages on a healing ceremony instructions. Awesome. I'll save that for later. Healing with the elements. Disease, as the word implies, is a state in which you are no longer at ease in yourself. The first step of shamanic healing is therefore devoted to retrieving your inner harmony. It is necessary to work with the spirit as well as the body, and to let your relatives in the natural world help you. If you are suffering from indigestion, ask yourself, what is it in your life that you cannot digest? What you literally cannot stomach? Go out into nature, and where it is quiet, dig a hole in the ground and lie down and talk into that hole about all the things that you feel are wrong in your life. You can yell, sob, cough, vomit, and moan into that hole, and it will take it without judgment. When you have finished, thank the earth, fill the hole back in, and plant a seed there to turn all of the feelings you put into the hole into a growing thing. Of course, be mindful of the ecosystem that you're doing that with. Instead of a hole, you could find a fast-flowing river in the mountains if possible. Lie on a bridge or a flat rock with your head over the gushing water, and pour your heart out to the water, spirit that passes below you. You can also use fire to release your pain. Build a sacred fire while praying to the fire spirits. Then write down all your hurts on a piece of paper, smudge the paper, and give it to the fire to be burned and borne away. Or you can confide your troubles to the air. Go to a high place that has the wind blowing fast around it, and let your voice and tears and pain be carried away in the wind. Whichever method you choose to release your pain, do it with the understanding that earth, fire, water, and air are living beings that wish to help you. Always thank the spirits and leave them gifts when you have finished. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, guys. We'll continue on with part 6. All right, have a good one.